All right, we're back. Episode 34, Good Enough Podcast. I am at home, and I am joined by Jason Arens, Devin Logan, and the one and only DJ DC Earth, Jonathan.
DJ DC Earth.
Welcome.
Thanks for throwing the handle out there.
Give him a follow. DC, so as some of you guys know, DC is my partner in crime with Outside TV announcing for these World Cups, the U.S. Grand Prix. So we'll be on this weekend doing halfpipe and slopestyle for the Aspen World Cup. So DC and Dev were just having a beer, and DC just came along. Good to have him here.
That's right. I just dropped in. I saw my girl D-Lo cruising through the inn at Aspen here, and I said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I'm going to go say hi to Jason." I said, "Well, I'm coming to say hi to Jason, too."
We picked up a DC.
I was sitting alone at the bar, like Steven fucking Glansberg out there.
But why were you sitting
DC
alone at the
helped
bar? Why did you have to get a beer at the bar, Dev?
Because Jason doesn't have beers in the room for me. He's not a good host. Some snacks, like something. I'm a guest.
Incredibly unprofessional.
M&Ms that I collected today.
They melted in your pocket today.
They're fine. They've been in my backpack. Not even for that long.
But Dev is doing the venue announcing for the World Cup, so she's out there in Aspen. Jason is the head judge on the panel. So we got a whole mix here. DC and I pretend like we're together while we're doing the broadcast, although we are definitely
you guys
not.
Aren't in the same room when you're doing that?
Nope.
No, unfortunately not. And we only talk over each other a couple times during the
good
contest,
flow.
which is pretty good.
Your chemistry is nice.
I'm not
It
gonna lie.
is.
I've done very, very minimal announcing, but the one or two times I've done it was with DC, and I was scared, and DC made me feel super comfortable, and that sounds really corny, but it was. I was really scared.
Was it the knee rubs, or was it just his overall vibe?
It was mainly the physical stuff.
He's got nice knees.
Nice and round, very symmetrical.
DC's a professional.
He is. I'm lucky to get to work with him as much as I do.
Are you recording from a hotel room here, though?
I'm recording from the Pete, I think I told you this, but I'll be broadcasting from the Buttermilk Patrol Director's office.
That's nice.
The
I
fine
will be
folks here.
broadcasting from right here, our guest room at Casa de Arneson in Kings Beach, California.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Well, it's a big one because here we go, Aspen, the final World Cup before the O show.
Yeah, some decisions to be made here, especially in the halfpipe world.
The final
That's gonna be
domestic
crazy.
World Cup, and then there is locks. Yes,
Pipe too.
but the final pipe as well. Sorry, I didn't elaborate on my final status there. That was final with an asterisk.
This is like a rehearsal for the actual announcing that we'll have to do. So get it all out right now.
I will. Shout out to everybody tuning in also, by the way. Love y'all.
Yeah, as much as everyone complains about how hard it is to get logged into Outside Plus, thank you for getting up in there.
Worth the struggle. Okay?
I don't know how you do your job, Pete, because I'm just texting you about how much of a hard time I'm having getting an Outside Plus. And then
The entire time, Jason's like, dude, it's another commercial. I'm like, yeah, that's why I can text you right now.
tell him to stop playing the commercials.
He's like, oh, they skipped over some random person that probably won't be on the podium, but
They just have awful timing with it.
That's
It's like
true.
I'm fine with them skipping full runs, but sometimes it's like, no, you're cutting it close to a run that I do not want to miss a part of.
yeah,
But I'm one of the 0.0001% of people that is trying to watch it for the entirety of its context, not just.
we sometimes have a say. I think one of the last ones they were gonna cut Idra's run, and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, that
You should not do that.
Yeah, that's no.
But yeah, I guess we should jump into Copper. Speaking of that, we had the Copper Grand Prix. Devin was there on site doing the venue announcing with the one and only Brad J, Big Brad.
Yeah.
DC, you were there?
I went over for qualifiers,
Yep.
and because I live right on the other side of the 10-mile mountain range from Copper in Breckenridge, I was able to zip over for qualies, and then broadcasted from my house so that I had that stable Wi-Fi connection.
That good wired Ethernet connection that we need to have. And then, Jason, you were not at that one, correct?
No, yeah, I was not. I had just gotten back from China and went straight home and did not go to Copper immediately following.
And these are my favorite contests for, especially like our group message of judges, because Jason's not there and he's just constantly in the messages asking things and questioning things. So these are
zero
always
answers
fun.
all the time. Just
Never getting a response.
getting super passive responses from Jonas Fjellstad. It's like, aren't you a judge too? It's like, dude, I'm asking an honest question. Like, give me your opinion here. What was the discussion going on? Because I mean, we're there's not a lot of people that are trying to watch the contest with the amount of attention to detail as a judge sitting around with nothing to do and a bunch of judges who want to send mean text messages about how they're messing up the contest. But I feel like it's fun when Pete's announcing too, because we just get to critique the living crap out of the people that are working the contest.
Oh, it's rough for everyone in that group message about 2 minutes after the contest if we disagree.
Even most of the time, we probably actually also agree, but it's more fun to take the opposite stance. And none of them like arguing with Pete.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. They all just kind of avoid it.
Yeah, they're scared.
Yeah,
They know you got nothing to lose.
You're persistent in your arguments. I will say that. You don't give up. I've been in one or two of those with you, so.
I don't think, Pete, you and I have ever been in an argument.
I don't think we have.
We've had a great relationship.
Well, it could be fun. We should have
He's
one
never
sometime.
had to critique you.
That's true.
Yeah, we'll do a new segment that's just constructive criticism from Pete.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Just of DC.
What could he do better just as a human?
What could DC do better as a
You
human?
guys can get into that on air this weekend.
I'll figure out some questions for him. We can drop them on air. I've been told by Jimmy Coleman I need to say a few different things on air. One of them I think is butt meds or butt pills or something like that. He told me I needed to find a way to get that in. So
Yeah, how would you integrate that?
I don't know. There was some Instagram video he told me I need to work that word in there, and I don't know how I'm going to work that one. So, yep. All right. So Copper, Dev, you were on site. You and Brad J, front and center,
Yes.
calling the action. We can start with the women's contest.
Okay. Let me
What do you
back.
remember, Dev?
What do I remember? Oh my god. Well, I do a lot, so it's hard to remember. Okay, on the women's side, I know as for Americans, we had 3 in the finals. Someone that I really like to watch, Kate Gray. I think she's got a lot of balls. That girl sends it, and she's kind of starting to finally link some tricks together. So it was dope to see her get into the finals. Couple names I haven't really heard of too. Abby, which is
Abby Winterberger.
yeah, Winterberger.
Tahoe represent.
Yeah, thank you for that. I needed this. Little bit more
And shout out her
background.
brother Mac too, who is her skiing influence, and that was also her first World Cup final at Copper.
Yes,
you
it
read
was.
this on the way over today.
No,
Yeah,
I just
he-
remember.
It's just off the brain. This is
Yeah.
this is why he's such a pro, and I don't have
Yes,
to do
exactly.
much when
This
we announce. It's great.
experience.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it was cool to see.
Trying to
It's-
find the results even because
I know. Can you bring?
Yeah.
I realize I'm spacing on who even was
Well,
on the podium.
Zoe
on that one.
won. I
be
know
your
that.
guys' statistician.
Indra got second, and then third was Kexon.
That's a great question. I can look it up while you guys are
Question
chit
mark?
chatting about it. The one thing, Dev, that I've found pretty interesting so far this year is there hasn't really been the standout U.S. skiers on podiums. So I feel like it's going to be a really interesting. I mean, how are they going to pick the team? Because nobody's really meeting that criteria.
Yeah, I mean, jumping forward just like from Copper to Calgary, now that we know like Svea ended up getting that podium, which was huge for her, and something that, I mean, she mentioned, I think, on social that, you know, she was struggling and it was a confidence booster. So I know that she has like so much more to give, and like what she's at least posting on the internet, like, you know, she can go big, but she's got to be feeling it. So that's pretty much, I think, the one and only hope.
Yeah.
And it's rough to say because like the US has such a depth of field in like past Olympics, but just going through that transition period, I think of newer athletes coming up and gaining that experience, some girls being injured, coming back from injury. So it's just timing.
Well, it's interesting too because it's like on the guys' side, it's just
Oh my God,
a
hammers.
melee. Like and somebody that should make a team, that would make any other team in the
not.
world,
Yeah.
is sitting at home through it. And then for some of the other team selections, it genuinely becomes tough because, like, you look at the guys, that pipe decision is going to be made by them on the snow, you know? I mean, ultimately, all of them are going to be made by their actions and the way they ski, but it's not been super obvious throughout a lot of the contests with the women so far as to who's going. So this Aspen one, specifically being the last pipe before the Olympics, is going to be, besides X Games.
So now if
Real quick, Pete,
Go
getting
ahead.
feedback, and Deal, I don't know if you heard feedback as well on the pipe, but today they had snowboard qualifiers here at Buttermilk, and people are hyped on the half pipe, and it was looking really good today. So we got a great venue for everybody out there today, or for tomorrow's qualies.
which should be great. I mean, it's who cut it.
Frank.
Frank Wells
Okay,
is
well,
here in the house.
Yeah, makes sense.
it's hard to beat.
I feel like I'm in the know.
Yeah, did you pull up who was in third for the women?
It was Keshin.
I-
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Dev. Nice.
Yeah, thank you. I knew
Nice,
it right.
Dev.
But yeah,
Um,
and also like she was coming off Snow League as well with the podium, and so
That was the one too where like Lee, who's been on a tear lately, didn't make finals in Copper. Like it just wasn't her
Had
day,
an
so
off day, yeah.
kind of left the door wide open. And then Keshin's just been like took some time off for injury, came back skiing really strong, has a lot of switch skiing in her run, which is something that not a lot of the riders have. But Indra has just kind of been on a tear with second place. Only thing you can really hold against her is amp in general. But being a 15-year-old girl, that seems to be.
she might be like a
It's
buck.
coming.
We've seen it happen before
Buck
with like
10?
Kelly
Yeah.
and Eileen back in the day, just with their
Exactly.
physical size not being able to do it. But
Well, and I mean,
Zoe-
it's not low amp by any means. I mean, it's
she's
relatively
cool.
average
Interesting.
amp and with good tricks.
I'll say it's variable amp.
Yeah,
like,
okay,
at
that's
worst,
fair.
You know,
Yeah,
like
um,
she's going massive up top, doing nines with good amplitude, good solid grabs with a really nice axis. But by the end of the run, just physical momentum seems to have run
Yeah.
its course, and I mean,
Well,
she'll
on
get
the
bigger.
on the one where she did the alley flat 5 at the end of her run in Copper, second run and got bodied. She went out pretty good on that one.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that was thick. It was
Not the
like
body, but-
super
Yeah.
off axis too. It was like more spinny and just
Yeah.
like a different type of rotation. But no, the Chinese are like always super consistent in their runs. Like Kexin and Lee, like they're doing like all four ways fives, and I think that's something that you're seeing. Like they're not boosting, but then there's like the Zoes where they're just like kind of above and beyond the rest of the field.
Well,
like,
and Zoe's one of those
See it,
ones
you're just
too.
like, damn.
Yeah, Zoe's one of those ones too where you talk about variable amplitude, where she kind of has these moments of obviously goes the biggest on that first 5, but then in the middle of the run you lose so much steam on some of those switch hits, and then it kind of goes back up a little bit. So her run, I mean, if it was more consistent amplitude, would be awesome. It would be great if she'd had a 9. But really,
Yeah, that's
really
really
great if she
something
had
I
a
think
9.
We were chatting about today of just like, I don't know. Yeah, you're just like, what does she have to do to get that number 1 spot when you ultimately have like Eileen Gu in a competition?
She needs a 9, going bigger, grabbing better, and doing both switch sevens like she does.
Yeah. Maybe a switch seven too.
I was gonna shout out Indra real quick, just to rewind on that slam on that alley-oop 5.
Yeah.
The alley-oop flat 5. That was she took that one on the chin.
Yeah.
And typical like Aussie fashion, like got up and was like, "Oh, I'm good, mate."
Well, she's also 15.
Yeah,
made
true.
out of rubber.
Yeah. But that was impressive. Hey, I am sorry also to interrupt, but I didn't carve this time out because I hijacked my spot here on the couch and completely snuck in bum rushed this podcast. So I got to go to dinner.
Well, DC, thank you so much for joining us. It's
part of my
always a pleasure.
interruption. D'Lo, Jason, love
Thanks
you
for
guys.
finding me at the
Pete,
bar.
love you. Everybody taking the time to tune in, love you as well. And yeah, get out there and rip some turns and have fun out there.
Jonathan.
Respect.
And tune in and listen to us on Outside Plus or Outside Watch because we're pretty fun. We're not too
Now
bad.
you know the faces behind the faceless
Come on,
commentary.
Squeeze on
Now
in,
me and Devin get to
Jason.
be-
Yeah, let me see those round kneecaps.
Thank you, DC.
I've been told I have big kneecaps.
We can, yeah. Sensitive.
Tradition with D'Lo. Welcome back.
Speaking
all
of the women's contest, though, that one, like Zoe just keeping so much amp throughout her runs. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the kind of the separation right now with those, I mean, kind of consistently top 3 when they're all skiing at their best, being Eileen, Zoe, and Lee. Both, like, I mean, all of them are really pushing the progression, the technical difficulty, the amplitude, pairing it with unique and creative grabs. Zoe obviously has the intensity, the amplitude throughout the top of the run, and I think just leaves such a strong impression. Also doing really grabs that are very obvious if missed. You know, grabbing that high mute up top, grabbing that lead tail in the 7, the Japan and the switch 7, like all the grabs are ones that if she's not making contact with her ski, it's relatively obvious, you know. And then, I mean, Lee's run that she's working on here, the technical difficulty is just nuts. But
yeah, I think like overall the women's progression just on their switch skiing in general has really stepped up like 2 to 3 levels, and that really differentiates like the bar in all the women's where like you see the top 8 but then you see that like heavy decline. And I feel like at the end of my career it was starting to become noticeable of like, okay, you got to start having all four
like,
wave 5s at least, you know?
Exactly. I mean, it kind of becomes the barrier of entry for that, like the upper echelon of these runs is who is spinning in 4 directions, because that's clearly proven to be the most difficult thing. The newest hump of progression is, okay, we're only seeing, I mean, even from a lot of the top runs, switch 3s are more common than switch 7s at this point. And that, I think it's progressing really fast. And like coming from a standpoint of everyone's kind of been playing catch up with Eileen for a little while, and now it's tightening at the right time.
Well, now, I mean, and someone who actually rode the half pipe at a high competitive level, Dev can speak to the fact of how difficult it is
I thought you
to
were
ride
talking about you
backwards.
for a second.
Yeah, riding.
No, I was definitely
I was telling this to
not
Riddle
talking
the other
about my.
night too, and I was just like doing a switch down the pipe trick is the gnarliest thing. I could not figure it out for the life of me, and you just go blind going up the wall.
So
where
blind.
switch alley oop you see the whole time, so I just like hung on to that, but. Yeah, it's so difficult.
You were someone who actually had a switch trick in your run in an era where a lot of people went without switch tricks.
Yeah, I started doing like that switch alley-oop flat 5, and then I got bodied on it a couple times, and then it was scary, and I would just
And then it
kind
got
of
less
just
flat.
started like resorting back to just like a switch alley-oop 3 and just like pretty much bitching out.
That seems to be the
I'll
a
call
theme,
my-
though, that I see. Like, I feel like that trick specifically, you'll see somebody do it really big a couple times, and then you won't see them want to
Because sometimes
Megan
you don't
Gunning.
pop enough, and then landing on the deck and falling into a 22-foot half pipe blind onto your back and just anticipating the impact is not fun.
No.
Yeah, none of
As
that
I was
sounds fun.
reliving
Falling
it in
in
my
a half
head.
pipe is
But no, going back to like making that Olympic team though, like my having experience in it, it's whether you're American or whatever country you come from, it's the hardest team to make. And when you get to the Olympics, it's kind of an easier competition because not all the riders are there. And like, especially in America with the men, you're having sometimes 6 to 10 Americans make finals, only 4 quota spots.
Right.
And some of the best in the world will not be there. And it kind of makes it not easier in a sense, but a little less pressure. And it's kind of like
I have never
fuck.
thought about it like that.
It's
That's
a mind
interesting.
fuck.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
you're
so
just
much of the
happy
pressure
to
is
be
just
there.
making that team.
Making the
Yeah.
team is the most pressure. Like speaking to the athletes now and like some of them, and they're just like calculating points and doing this. And I was like, you're doing a lot of math and not a lot of skiing.
Yeah.
And you just have to get the results and ski. But like, it's easy for me to say now, being on the other side of things.
hindsight, yeah.
When I was in that position 4 years ago, just being like, am I going to make it? I need to get X, Y, and Z. But this person has this, and this scenario can happen in this. And then you're just like, lost in the mind and not skiing anymore.
So on the women's side, we'll get to Calgary, but we do have one podium this year from an American. What do you think they'll do, Dev, with the rest of? I mean, are we still filling 4 spots? Is there competition with the moguls?
I think
and
this
Ariel's
contest is
team?
going to speak volumes to
Okay.
what that team looks like.
Yeah, they at least for half pipe women's, they qualified 4 spots, so they'll probably most likely give out 4 spots regardless, because also taking into consideration, and I think Jason can talk more on this, and it's the finite details of qualifications, and they've changed it every single Olympic year. It's been something different, so that's also a mind fuck for the athletes.
Oh, yeah.
But our ski cross team isn't that strong, so there's some spots that can move around.
Yeah, like whereas you see some other countries that might have a strong presence in the sport, say Canada, that you would think would easily field a team of 4, might qualify a team of 4. However, they have a very strong freestyle presence in their moguls team, as well as their ski cross team, which takes away from the total positions that you have to send for the freestyle disciplines, which free skiing is included. So the U.S. does, I guess we'll say, benefit in that scenario, that there's not a lot of competition on the ski cross front specifically. So it really does give a lot of opportunity. And I mean, right now, Svea's looking pretty well set. You know, that
Yeah.
podium speaks a
They're
lot.
taking the best result,
Yeah, best single result, and a podium speaks volumes.
Yeah.
especially when that's the only female to have a podium. So you're number 1 right now in the rank.
But yeah,
And this is Aspen being our last half pipe contest before, or qualifying contest before going to the Big O show.
Yeah, they named the team on Saturday.
Okay. And your buddy Brad Jay's announcing that team, correct?
I believe so.
I
He was
saw that
talking
on
about it
his
today.
socials. So shout out, Brad. Let's jump into men's results for Copper.
yeah, that
Alex,
was
Hunter,
Longino, in third.
Nino.
Big podium for Andrew, like in his Olympic pursuit right now. I know Canada, again, mentioning that they're very selective, so I know that's going to go a long way. And he's trending in the right direction. He's just got a very technically difficult run that he was able to put down on a day that was a bit challenging. But to me, I mean, this contest, Hunter versus Alex was pretty exciting watching from home. I think Hunter left a little bit on the table in his scoring run, and had he maybe made one grab a little bit more clear, I would have argued tooth and nail that he could have taken out with that run.
Was it the grab or was it the slight case re-entry on the Misty 5? Because those were the couple things. And I mean, I've never looked at a slight tail slap coming on the re-entry as a huge deduction. No, it's not a perfectly clean landing coming down the wall, but would
you
I would
compare
never.
that to like landing a jump but kind of knuckling it, so taking amplitude into effect?
That is a good point, but it's not amplitude
Question.
because he was boosting,
Yeah.
but he
So
wasn't
this is what
lined
I'm
up.
saying.
I'm
that
asking the judge.
The judges didn't
Head
like
judge.
at all that I brought this up is, what if he did it on purpose?
Yeah,
Like
skateboard.
We give
Style.
people so much leeway in slope style.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they drug their hand down the landing. What if that was on purpose? If it was on purpose,
This is all
it-
Matei's fault.
I won't say he's not to blame, but it's also the most fun part of judging because he keeps us on our toes more than anyone else. And he there's no other skier that you watch them land something and you think that might have been on purpose if they mess up, you know?
Yeah, his interpretation of what the sport is just like
It's unreal.
is in a whole different realm of like creativity and like thinking outside the box.
Also, on that note, him calling you out in his video with down days was pretty great, Jason.
I thought that that was a pretty.
What did he
It was
say?
a really quick, subtle call out.
Yeah, he's in the down days, day in the life thing. Matei is helping Sam Bumgardner with some video review coaching, and Matei says something that's like, "I'm not Jason, but I'd recommend you grab a little bit longer."
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Shots
You
fired.
didn't even
Shots
catch it, I
fired.
don't think, the first.
I didn't catch
the first
it, no.
time.
But I'm cool with that. I feel like,
Oh yeah,
like that's actually I could be dealing with a lot worse. The snowboarders have slope humor that exists. That's pretty tame.
yeah. Slope humor is pretty sick. I like it.
Yeah, slope humor is sick.
And deserved a lot of times. But on that note of Hunter's run, yes, a grab could have been held a little longer. Yes, it still was right there. I don't know if I'm comparing grabs being held longer and Alex doing switch left up 10, not very high out with a really quick Japan. It's pretty comparable to me. So those ones were tough when I was calling it and watching it. Those runs would have been a tough one to call for sure.
Yeah, that was a tough one at the end, but yeah, ultimately Alex pulling it out, and he's been selective with the contest that he's done so far this year. So it's cool to see him pulling up to a contest. Then he skipped Calgary, and now he's here this week in the hometown.
I would have skipped Calgary too if I already had an Olympic
On-
spot. Let's
on
be
New
honest. No offense. Like I'm all
Smart.
for Cowboys, but like that Chinook wins.
Well, I mean that's just another thing.
Not
I
for
think
it, for the
we're-
poutine.
We're seeing this year that's a little bit interesting.
Not
is
for the
just-
negative 20 degrees. There's a lot.
It
That's
did
the
look-
quote
I guess,
right
though,
there.
The video, I watched the broadcast and it looked pretty rough. But yeah, I guess that wraps Copper. I guess with just talking about those three, like that contest again. Wind really seemed to be kind of an issue, and still we haven't seen a lot of these contests happening in pristine weather right now. Pipe contest in China, obviously that was a pretty gnarly weather day that they competed in, still gutted it out. Copper, same story. Calgary, another situation like that.
I mean, but again, like training in the shit,
It helps. Yeah.
it helps because I was thinking about this today. I was like, wait, have they ever held a half pipe competition in Italy? What's the pipe going to be like?
No
and
clue.
I'm kind of thinking like it might be like a Sochi. Like we might see
true.
that again.
For sure.
And so like kind of being selective, like knowing that Eileen's not going to competitions and is in China in a perfect pipe, like, yeah, she might have a sick run, but like, what if the pipe's not perfect in
Right.
Italy? Like,
Well, and that's you look
like,
at what
you gotta
happened in
train it all,
Sochi.
too. And I was thinking about this today. I was like, we might see a Sochi all over again,
For
where
sure.
like this thing might not be pristine.
Yeah, and you I mean, a lot of people won't remember Sochi, but the half pipe contest, there are a lot of names up in that mix. Peter Adam Crook was up in that mix trying to fight for a podium because he could ride a not perfect pipe. There was a lot of people that were up in there, and David, obviously, as strong of a skier as he is, survived. But you have Riddle, who also battled through there, who had a solid run that wasn't necessarily his full run, but he could put it together, being a big body and a not so great pipe.
Yeah, and I think that's like kind of like Calgary first run with Burke in his first run. Like he kept it very mellow, but he went in a time in the run order where he was like, no one's landing anything. Let me just like put one to my feet and like
sometimes
put a
that's
score in and like play the game, you know? Like it's not the run. He increased his run for the second one to land on that podium, but like he played the game like pretty nicely too. So like
Yeah, I mean the vet move is to play the day, not the field.
Yeah.
You know? I
Yeah.
feel like that's the one thing that I always have to keep reminding myself is how how it's not about the best skier. It's about the person that can win that day. You know,
skis the best that day,
puts it together that day, and
Well, and in the men's field, in that, I mean, somebody who's done it time and time again in slopestyle and now in halfpipe is Gepper. Being able to figure out a run that he can do, changing it up where it's like, all right, I'm not going to risk it with the blunt grab on the right dub 12. I'm going to get a solid grab in here, and I'm going to lace a run and see what happens. And he ended up taking it, not having the level of difficulty of the tricks as maybe Finn, who went a little harder, but doing it clean in the conditions.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess you had to talk, to touch back on the reason they got talking about this with the conditions. Calgary, tremendously adverse weather conditions for their contest. And watching this final, too, again, another one that I was watching from home, Run 1 did not lead me to believe that contest was going to be much of a standout overall. And Run 2 was awesome. Guys and girls, both. I mean, the girls, the weather seemed to be a bit rougher for the girls' Run 2. But the guys, I think, lucked out a little bit in the way the weather turned out in the afternoon. And ended up being one of my favorite contests to watch I've seen this year. The girls, it really was a battle of mistakes, I feel like. And, runs that could have been rewarded more had they not had small mistakes. Most notably, Lee, who finished in 4th place with a run that just technically is so unbelievably difficult, but finishing that run on her switch right 7 with a little bit under-rotated, kind of washed landing, and leaving the judges with a bit more discretion than you might find at the end of that run, and ending up sliding her in 4th place, which I think that was the longest decision they took in the entire contest. Above her, Svea, again, that big podium that we were talking about, coming in and putting a clutch run down, adding that switch 7 to her run, which
Sev to Sev combo was dope.
The Sev to Sev combo is good. She's getting comfortable with that 9.
No one's doing that 7, that access either.
No.
It's different. It's super inverted.
Reminiscent of Britta for some reason to me when I see her do it. Not necessarily because it looks the same, because she's one of two doing just an axis that I don't think anyone else can control. Maybe seems
Britta's right 7 every time.
I would describe Britta's right 7 as out of control.
How does she do that? She goes into a misty. I'm
every time.
Shoulder
Terrifying.
strong. She's like, I'm just gonna do it.
It got less predictable towards the end. But.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, it is a good axis. That switch 7 really elevates that run. Not even having the alley flat 5 in her run, which is an obvious thing that she can add to spice that up. But obviously the weather was pretty tough. Keshin in 2nd in that one, and again just another very straightforward, clean run, good maintained amplitude, spinning in all 4 directions. Consistency. Just really riding. And she, as far as switch transition riding skills, she might be leading the pack right now with 4 of 6 hits.
That transition looked bumpy, that flat bottom too. Seeing some of it, I don't know the actual conditions, but
yeah, absolutely, it did not look pristine. But Indra kind of do what we were talking about with Naomi for big air on the last episode, hitting for the cycle. Indra with a 3-2-1 in her first 3 World Cups. Really good run, and if anything, the only thing that I think could have been done differently is the amplitude, which again will that pipe specifically, that's going to be hard to do. But lacing 9s back to back at the top of your run, switch in both directions, that's gonna hold up. So it's exciting to have a new face that's ruffling the cards so quickly in that pack.
Well, and
definitely has earned it. But I feel like in halfpipe, the last couple seasons, someone comes out their rookie year, and then it's just bam, bam, bam. Zoe did that when she first was a rookie. Hannah Fallhaber, I remember that. Kexon on her first season too. So it's been interesting to watch the progression of people join the tour, and then them have their literally breakout season.
Yeah, and then fall back into the monotony of.
And then it's judges are like, "Oh, you were a shiny new toy. Okay, on to the next."
Those damn judges.
But
Indra with the Jamie Melton blueprint that worked very well for Eileen, and following in those footsteps with a very similar strategy, and obviously an incredible skier. But I can't say enough about giving our shout outs to Jamie
Just
and
keep
what
shouting
he's
out
doing.
Jamie.
But also, so Indra and Jamie coached her here in Tahoe, and some of these young skiers skied with her and in that whole season that they spent out here. And these kids, we were watching and checking the live results as this contest was going on, and all these kids are talking. I mean, Indra's winning. Indra's going to win this contest, and these are kids who are 13, 14, 15 years old that see her skiing at Boreal 2 years ago, ripping rails and jumps with them, and is now winning World Cups. And it's such a, like, I guess inspiration is the right term. I don't know, but such a cool
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, and I mean it's cool for
Anything's
these
possible.
Exactly. It's cool for these kids to see, like, okay, this is possible, like, to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was at Snow League during my brief career as the starter for snowboarding. The
It's
girl
just beginning.
who ended up winning Snow League, Patty Sparkles,
Yeah.
who's too young to compete in the World Cup, yet won a Snow League. It's really crazy that you can have people that are so young that are so dominant. And I mean, we saw this with Kelly for years, like Kelly was on the radar of the collective free skiing world
Since she was 6.
Yeah.
I remember seeing YouTube videos and they're like, have you seen this girl? She's 6. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Do you remember Do Tours, Dev, where they had her there and it's like, all right, should we let her start, or are we going to ruin this girl's life if she comes up short at
I was
Breck?
like, she is so small.
Yeah.
And these jumps are so big. I'll never forget X Games in Norway when everyone was just trying
the Brad
to, like,
Prosser push.
and we throw, like taking her poles, and I was just like, you guys, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Also, shout out Kelly, because she was not heavy enough to make the slopestyle course, and I got that alternate spot and got third because I was heavy enough to make that last jump. Yeah. Also, night X Games, like, there needed to be more lights on there. Just full on blind sometimes. I was like, how are we doing this? Never
that was the
again,
Lillehammer
but
one?
we did it.
That was
The Lillehammer COVID. Everyone may not make it home because of COVID.
No, it was before.
Oh,
It was like 17.
It was the one I was at? Okay.
Yeah, it was 2017.
I had some distractions
Almost-
that year.
9 years ago.
Oh man.
God, aging myself. Okay.
That was 2017. That was when.
Yeah, when we did night
Yeah.
X Games.
That year. And
2017.
yeah, the Brad Prosser pushed Kelly in. That was also the year, like, we are way, way off topic, which is fine. That was the year of the Norwegian kid with the pre-grab.
Oh yeah. Eirik Satroy.
Yes. And
The
his,
single greatest. They should make a 30 for 30 on this
They
kid's
should.
team that day, because he came out of nowhere. He skied like the best skier in the world for that day, and then he got hurt, and he really he never did that trick again. We'll say
that was it. That jump was just perfect
that
for
was
that.
the switch pre-nose dub 12. Like,
Did the switch double?
Yeah.
She was
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Matilda before she was
Matilda.
just running it for.
Yeah.
G.
Yeah. Wacko did switch triple, I think. It was an interesting contest. That was actually the beginning of our infamous group message as well.
Oh, the infamous.
But okay, back to Calgary. We made it through the women's comp. The men's comp, Gepper came to play and put down the run. Then we had Fenn in second, and then in third on his last run, jumping his fellow countryman who had taken that third place spot from him, Matt Labaugh. Burke Irving takes third.
Yeah, I mean, that whole contest, too, like we were talking about earlier, just first run, not seeming like the contest is really going to go off. Burke putting down that run with 9s in run 1, and it actually holding up for a while. Like, not in a dominant way or anything, but that was a smart strategic play. But then run 2 came around, and it was like everybody realized that what was at stake. Gepper, who had put down a run up until the last hit, does a major double hand drag on his final hit in run 1. I think he scored a 71 on that, and going into run 2.
Does he have a photographic memory.
Going
Hire
into
this man. Oh wait, he's already hired.
going into run 2, Gepper had a lot of pressure and absolutely turned it on. Like did the run that he was doing all last year, plus that right dub 10 and placed the right 10, which is pretty nice. Put up that pretty solid score. Burke coming in and like Finley, I guess it was on run 1 that he did his run. Finn is skiing so well. Ending it with the alley-oop flat 5, which kind of, I feel like, left the door open for Gepper to come in run 2 and do what he did, because Finn's run with the alley-oop double kind of becomes a whole different beast. You know, that added...
Call Gepper's last hit switch bone 9?
Switch right alley-oop bio 9 blunt, but you could call it bone. But
Well, no, the other one he does. So he does the switch
you're saying-
misty.
His last hit.
Yeah, the switch right alley-oop bio 9 blunt.
Well, he did in copper do
Bone
the
rotation, though,
the
right?
bone roll version.
He did just the 5. He did a
Okay,
bone.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
sorry.
done that.
Yeah.
And that's what he
Okay,
did with
sorry.
that's what he did with his hand.
You're
drive,
good,
too.
yeah.
He just did the switch right bone 5.
Yeah.
Shout out Dory.
Because I just call it like the bone 9.
Oh,
Yeah, that plays too.
Yeah.
I try to like when
Okay,
I've gotten in the habit
I'm okay with calling
of
it
trying to
that.
make sure I use as little slang when I explain it to people to try to let people better understand what it is, because we have our names for everything, so that one's a hard one to just say. Like when people come to the judges clinic and Noah Bowman does that in a video that I'm showing somebody, anyone who's watched it before calls it the bone roll, you know, but to anyone that's never stepped foot there before, they have no idea what to call it. It's the most confusing trick they've ever seen. It makes no sense. No one else is doing it like that. So that's a tricky one, being like the switch alley-oop overflip. But again, run 2, going back to it, just an absolute massacre there. Hunter is my new forerunner for Crash of the Year. Putting
Unreal.
an absolute heater of a rundown to a massive Misty 5 with no chance of getting back into the
Full
fight.
deck.
Full commitment. And took it like a champ too. That was pretty epic. Matt Labaugh coming in at the end, making it very close between Burke and him for third place, but not really able to overtake Gepper or Finn at that point. But just a really good comp. Again, like run 1 not looking super good. Starting to see some runs end up on the board with major mistakes, and then run 2, everyone just kind of landed the runs they needed to, which makes me really excited for this week, because the stage has been set. Gepper was having struggles with his early season contests. He comes in, he wins 1 contest in Calgary, and he's solidified his spot. There's no taking that away from him now. It's been guaranteed. So now there's 2 spots, and it's about to get a lot tighter, and we go into quals tomorrow.
2
Which-
spots, 2 athletes with podiums.
Yep. With Hunter with 2 podiums, Burke with
Hunter
1.
with 2. Law very close a couple times. Like
It's basically you win Aspen, you get a spot.
Yeah, but you also have the disadvantage of having people like Alex there to throw a wrench into it, because it's like, all right.
And Finn and Luke, who are
Right.
both here. But I mean, it's also the cool thing about the team situation is this is where they get a chance to prove it. You know, the U.S. team is not limited to the 5 people that we've talked about being in contention. If you win, you're in for this thing. You know, that's going to overtake any other results if you win this. So there are
this year, because in years past that wasn't always the case, right?
Yeah.
Because you remember Kyle Smain winning in Mammoth.
Yes, yeah, that is fair.
That's one that
in
sticks
years
out to
past
me.
it was your best 2 results.
Right. Okay.
And now it's your best individual result, with the fact that they go to your next one the second that you're tied with
Like
the best.
I said,
Okay.
This will be the 4th Olympics for free ski, and they've done 4 different qualification.
And is that's a U.S. team decision on how they do that, or is
Yes. Yeah, and
so
it's also
is
based on
is that Skogan just being like, I want something different this time, or is that
It's-
someone else, or is it the whole body?
it's collaborative.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I was on the phone call and I
So this
agreed
is your
to
fault.
it. This is my fault. But I like
Okay.
it. I think I mean, you would hate to prioritize like 2 third places versus somebody
For
that
sure.
genuinely proves that they can come in and win. My reservations about the U.S. qualifying criteria had more so to do with how close to the event the athletes get pushed to ski this hard. Yeah. But with that being said, it's done really well for all of them. That Joss came in hot. Joss did really well. Yeah. A-Hall qualified last minute. He did really well. So
you got to be the best of the best at that time.
2 weeks before, it's and like there are other countries where people kind of have let their foot off the gas in recent months because they know that they're set and they're trying to rest and make sure they're there. Yep. And that's a strategy for sure. But it's also being out there and seeing what the contest was like today at Slope in Aspen makes you a little bit more prepared,
Yeah, this is the classic rest versus rust situation where it's like, is it best to sit a little bit and have more time to heal and be whatever? I bet you look at, obviously, as being a traditional sports fan, you look at like the NCAA football playoffs, and only one team out of the 8 teams who have had a chance to have a bye to make it to the next round have actually won that game. Because they have 4 weeks off, and then they go in and have to play a game.
Like hockey playoffs,
Yeah, exactly.
You series early, you have more rest time, but
yep.
Historically, like you come back, but you're like cold. Where the team that's like rallying to game sevens, after game sevens, it's a lot under your belt, but like you're finding your groove.
Yep.
It's also another thing that I'm starting to see play a factor in the bigger contests. World Cups, you get 2 days of practice. You have relatively limited practice time. World Championships and the Olympics, they open it up to 3 days. Usually the blocks are a little bit longer. And then you always have the athletes complaining after the fact, like, oh, man, I was so tired at contest day. It's like you were given 3 days so you could choose 2, not so that you could ski 3. Skiing 3 might be the worst thing you could do for yourself, but you want to make sure you get enough time on the course. It's just an interesting...
Depends on it.
I was going to say, let's ask the Olympian who's done it.
Preference. I mean, like for slope style, you're going to want to take that extra day because every course is different.
So much to figure out.
Even like the first day, you're just kind of rolling through like, okay, what about this option? I think for slopestyle, it's beneficial because you're playing around with different lines, and then if it's not working, you can switch it up and you still have time to prepare. Where like half pipe, it's probably too much because, let's be honest, every half pipe's the same. There's some differences, but it'll take you like 2 or 3 runs to figure it out of like, okay, here's where the pop is, this is that, but like you have your set run going in.
And it doesn't change that much throughout the year.
No, it doesn't change. You're just like, okay, I feel comfortable doing this. Maybe let's go a little bit bigger. But not much changes. So.
Yeah. And speaking of half-pipe skiing, Pete, I need to do a correction corner for the last episode where I said that a lot of people that ride vocals use pivots in the pipe. Hunter corrected me and told me that they all love marker bindings. They all use marker bindings.
All of them. Every single one.
They're also paid by that
marker bindings for life.
Marker bindings, Dalbello boots for life.
I did pay attention though, and there are more marker bindings out there.
This is not a paid ad. I'm not paid by them. But if you're not on pivots, you're not doing it right. Grow up.
All of them,
free
including
is free. I get that too. So
including Oystein Broughton, who was on vocal, Dalbello, and marker, and continued to ride in Solomon SPK through his career, painting it like a Dalbello boot.
You like what you like.
You like what you like sometimes, but yeah.
I think I'm back with this one.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
Is that you just did a quick little boost of juice there?
Quick charge.
Nice.
Plugged in to the alarm clock.
All right, so that wraps up Calgary. We're now in Aspen. We had
one more thing.
Yes, Dev.
To be honest, I didn't see the second run in Calgary.
That's okay.
Not that.
Well,
thank you. I was listening. I had a doggy date that we were taking her on. So after run 1, it was kind of like you turn the game off. It's like watching the Jets on Sunday.
Ooh.
I make it through the first.
Is it though?
And then I turn it off.
Okay.
And
at least you make it through the first. That's.
But I just needed to like let everyone know.
I did not expect much after run 1, and I was pleasantly surprised watching it and blowing up the group chat.
I caught up on the internet afterwards.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
the contest of a lifetime.
Well, we are in Aspen.
I brought
Go
a bunch of Euros in the room to watch the end of the Steelers versus Ravens game and was trying to explain to them the implications of the last 2 plays. And boy, did they not care.
No, the disaster of defense back and forth there at the end, and then a blown kick.
Got intense. That
Well,
fourth
the
down,
Euros are probably like they should make that wide open goal every time. Like,
why
how
are
can
they
you
touching
not-
that thing with their hands?
How can you not kick that
Let's
hand
not
egg
talk
through
about
the
Aaron
uprights?
Rodgers anymore, okay?
Yeah, fair.
We can. Moving on.
Yeah,
All right.
fair.
How about them Seahawks? All right, so moving on.
Also,
We're in Aspen.
Darnold was a Jets quarterback. What's
How do
happening?
you do there?
Yeah.
Now he's one of 2 quarterbacks of all time who've had back-to-back 14-win seasons. Him and Tom Brady. Go Jets. So moving on, we're in Aspen. We had slope qualies today. I caught a little bit of it. You guys were both working, so you caught all of it.
I'll watch a little bit of it.
Okay.
Every single
Yeah,
round.
slope quals was cool today. The course they put together. I mean, realistically, I think the biggest thing to talk about here is that we have a half pipe and a slope style course because it's been drought conditions over here. The fact that they were able to pull it together, scrape snow, and do what they did, and like not only that, the half pipe seems pretty perfect. And it's the only problem is it's getting too worked in during the long training sessions. So. Half pipe's great. The slope style course, which we were on today,
Dude, those lips were massive too.
Absolutely
like, the
massive.
work that they put in, I skied down on the way just to like check out the course for the first time, and I was like, these things are reminding me of like mammoth takeoffs.
That
Like,
was-
they look like they matched very nicely. Like a couple people knuckled, but like no one really took any diggers.
No, yeah. I mean, Mammoth is the only jump that I've seen that has a lip cut out that big. I mean, not quite Mammoth main jump,
No.
glory days, but
But-
still, that's a 20-foot tall lip.
Relatable.
And it's like, but the jump does match pretty well. And luckily, we haven't anyone just slide off the lip. That's the thing I was worried about. But yeah, rail features pretty creative. Double seated down.
Yeah, it gave everyone an option.
Yeah, it was, I think, a little bit tough for some of the ladies today figuring out the angles when you weren't trying to do the transfer. Like you had to come in pretty tight to the down rail, which added some difficulty, or you had to like kind of evade the down rail if you hit the C's. But the women's qualifier went off. The rail options were really cool. Olivia nailing that 4-on.
Yeah, that was sick.
Like just so locked in.
Avery with that Misty 450 out
Avery's
of the
sick.
up rail was insane too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've seen many women's Misty 4s out of rails, and it's
Not
funny
that
'cause-
well done either. That was
Super well done. Yeah, really fun to watch. Avery is kind of bursting in there, making it really interesting. I think you would find this funny today, Pete, but I was just commenting to the judges how much more amused I was with Avery's Misty 5 out than I am when somebody does a regular on Misty 5 out in the men's slope contest. I usually get pretty frustrated with those.
the Franco flip.
The Franco 450.
Where is
Yeah.
Robbie Franco?
Where is Robbie Franco?
Where in the world is Robbie Franco? That would be.
That should be a segment.
yeah,
we should
write
find
that
out. We
one
should
down.
give him a call every week and find out if he's
I like
making
that.
some new salsa or something.
The new thing, instead of calling Garrett, we try to track down Robbie Franco. Go ahead,
Kirsty though too. I think she showed
Yeah.
a bunch of variety on the rails. Like the women's rail game was huge, and you could tell with Lynn like the top 4 that you needed those stronger rails, and I think that is what like really differentiated the whole field from like 6 to 8, and then like top 4 or 5.
and it's like when you have a course that has 3 rail features and 2 jumps, the person that wins should be better at rails than they proved they were at jumps in the course. So it forced a lot of them into doing runs that probably stretched their abilities a little bit. But
Yeah, I was talking to Brad about that because, like, then you play your jump game because a lot of people maybe don't feel strong going into that last rail switch. Like, I'm sure a lot of people wanted to do, like, a dub 12, but they're like, I don't want a land switch or, like, a cork 9. So you saw a lot of, like, back-to-back sevens.
landing forward tonight.
Yeah, or like the switch to.
And I will say that was definitely a factor that we are trying to consider as well, because landing switch between that jump and the next rail.
It's a lot of speed.
So rail options, women's slope. We've done the qualification.
Yeah, women's qual today, did SBS, smaller number of competitors. For the men, we ended up going to double up for the judging, so 2 separate heats happening at the same time.
Yeah, 60 competitors.
2 heats of 30.
Runs. Woo.
It was a pretty big day. Lot of heavy runs. Again, the rail course really lends to people that are pushing it on the rails.
A lot of people landed runs too.
So few crashes. It
Which
made it
is
difficult.
sick, but also makes our jobs harder.
Oh yeah, there was a lot to talk about and a lot to try to.
I was just
today.
trying, like, if you messed up on the first rail, I'd just like put the mic down. I was like, I need water.
Give him a break for a second. And usually, like with the contest was running long because it's a lot of competitors, but we also usually rely on the DNI, like second runs not improving, to be able to save time. And it was just like everyone seemed to step up on run 2, even if just marginally. But tons of landed runs. With that being said, lots of runs with small mistakes that separated people.
I do feel that Heat 1, the difference in the scores. Heat 1, the scores were like higher, so like going into finals, like there's going to be a lot of people from Heat 2 that drop early. Like Colby held on today.
Held on.
Yeah. Colby kind of lucked out.
It's interesting you noticed that too, because that was by design with the scores today, because we watched the first couple runs together when doing double up and then try to get the ranges close. So when I looked at the 2 heats after run 1 and was like, wow, the bubble in heat 2 is 10 points lower than in heat 1. It was like 59 or 57 in heat 2, and it was already in the high 6s or low 7s for heat 1. And then I was kind of looking at how the scores were matching up between the runs, and I really felt that the 2 panels did a pretty good job today of like making sure that the numbers lined up with where they would have ranked in the other heat. But like that, it's going to be pretty heavy in the beginning of the drop order from heat 2, because we also saw a lot of people that didn't really put everything out there in qualifying. They knew that they were just trying to kind of lay the groundwork for a place in finals.
The only person really was Luca doing the switch triple.
Luca went nuts.
On the first jump, too. And I heard the first jump's like Font Remo style, like, so.
Yeah.
Apparently some of the athletes were saying where the U.S. is now the new Font Remo. And which I was like, ooh.
Yikes.
Yeah, Luca and Ben Barclay came to play.
Ben Barclay's
also
run
ripping
was
the
sick.
switch 16 on jump 1.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, there were a lot of 12s today. There were a lot of 14s.
Yeah, a lot of back-to-back 14s, 12 combos, like kind of chill, but I was like maybe because that first jump was, people were killing speed.
Can I take a 2-minute break here?
We're back. Devin's done not pooping.
And we're back. Devin is done not pooping. And we are back. I had to say a proper goodnight to Millie.
You're a good father.
Thank you, Jeff. Couple things I noticed. I tuned in as much as I could. I was in and out. I was on a OBS production call for a little bit with it on the TV, not paying attention at all to our meeting. And
Shout out to OBS.
Shout out OBS Life, even though we're not going to be in the same zone, which sucks.
What does OBS even stand for?
Olympic Broadcast Services.
Fancy.
Is it plural, service or services?
I would guess services.
Like,
I don't know, Dev. We should probably know that, I guess, but it's OBS. Anyway, so I caught a few different things. I started to make notes and then wandered off. Henry Silderoo, my boy, making it through. Big Henry Silderoo fan over here.
He's got to run.
His rails, he's one of the only people hitting the down foot down. And he goes in.
Yeah, front swap, back swap, P4.
Yep.
And
was it
then
front
he
swap,
was
back
just
swap, front swap?
teeny bopping that down, flat down. It was too much for me to take in.
Devin's just watching it.
He's
right down, dancing. Henry, the only thing that really held him back on his second run with that switch 2 C cork 6 Japan off the bottom
Yeah.
one, because that was where he lost it in run 1.
He just
ended
did
up kinda
switch to P2.
switch to P2, and
Yeah.
it was like definitely not on purpose.
Yeah.
So then when he did the switch to 6 out, that was a big improvement. But we had also kind of
16, right?
he did the 16 both runs with the blunt, which is really nice. But
The-
he kind of whiffed the Japan, or at least we thought
Yeah.
so on jump 1. Either
But
way, he was making it in the finals, so we didn't feel like we were being overall too harsh on him.
The 16 in run number 1, he about landed on his hand. He held
Oh, yeah.
that
He
grab
holds
so
so
long. And it's coming together more. So big Henry Silver
He's
fan.
looking like he's grown up.
Yeah.
Like skiing. It's no longer like a kid skiing.
He's a tall boy.
He's putting off a little bit of Gus vibes with some of the style, which is good. I think that's a positive thing here. A-Hall's first run, the lip 2, the shifty to switch, where he completely turned the skis downhill, held it, and then brought it back to switch. I know
so
it's
much control in that one trick. So simple, but so
yes,
controlled.
exactly.
He's
It,
just
it was
doing Hall things out there. And
it
just
was
like,
so sick. And the last
that's him
front.
messing around too.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
doesn't need it, but he's just messing around, and it's still like
That's so fun to watch. Yeah, his whole run was really nice. Just the like backwards transfer on the C
Yeah.
to down, just subtle difficulty. The lip 2 to switch, super clean. The switch tail butter, double Japan, dub 7, like the dub 9 pullback to 7.
nuts.
Is nuts. Like he'd been doing that to 3 for a bit, and the 7 double version of it is just, it's so nice, and the way he pulls out of it is pretty crazy. And then at the end of the run, the switch to C4 tail tap, where he like really did a proper drag, just
Yep.
control. Like that's what he was trying to show. He did a really good job showing control, and his run didn't necessarily have the most spinning, the most difficult tricks, but the amount of control showed, I think, was rewarded today.
Yeah, big shout out to the judges for rewarding that. So yeah, just want to throw that one out there as well.
Yeah, they did good today.
Couple other names that I really wanted to see in there as a fan. Keegan Supple, I'm a big fan of. I was really hoping he was gonna clean that up and
almost
put it
made
down.
it through in that second run.
That switched
Yeah.
up 14 stale was really nice that he did on jump 2, just as like a single standout trick. He's just cool to see him getting some starts. You know, we were
Yeah.
talking about this last year, and he's fun to watch. You know, he's bringing something different to the table.
Good to see Henny out there. Didn't make it through, but good to see him back.
And he going for that
in the
6
bid.
on too.
Yeah. I want to know what's going on with the helmet. Is he not
is he-
on it?
Is he not running the?
Is he not
the
running the
Stormtrooper
Euro
kit?
Steed?
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh
what's
yeah,
happening.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't have great peripheral vision for him linking multiple features together. We only saw him use it at the one contest, right? Just
I don't
Secret
even think he
Garden.
used it for the contest. I think it was just in training.
No, he used it in the contest.
he?
was
Okay,
wearing
sorry.
it in Secret Garden, Big
Okay.
Air. But that is a good question. Maybe
Sorry, just
No,
But
you're,
yeah.
you're on it.
cool seeing Henny out there.
what some of the ladies are thinking. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair.
Fact.
Seb Sheriff doing Seb stuff. This is a course for him. I could see him doing really well in finals.
For sure. And also, like in this contest, you get to see some of the races within the races. Like for these Olympic qualifying criterias for each country, there's a lot more behind the scenes going on in these kids. Like a lot of them are kids. You know, a lot of the competitors they're young and this is their first time dealing with this. And there's a lot of pressure on them to make one of 4 spots. A lot of these countries not qualifying 4 spots, but Seb is someone with a really strong Norwegian team that has been so good for so long, just wants to make the cut and go with Norway, you know, and skiing really well today. Really fun to watch him be able to actually put something down. And his rail ability, like you see the stuff he posts on social media on his rail set up in his yard. He's practiced at that stuff. His control is on another level.
Andre
Has the
switching
Olympic
jackets
slopestyle
too.
course come out yet?
I believe it's published.
It's
Yeah.
published, yeah.
Oh, good.
Um,
Sorry, I'm late to the party.
You're good. Andre switching jackets in between runs.
Oh, you mean Dr. Dre?
I was I was hoping to
didn't
see the
even
pink
notice
one,
that.
but it went from the blue jacket to the white one with the graffiti where he laced the run. These are the little things, Dev. You got to keep up.
Yeah, Andre too had a pretty good run 1, and then run 2 just tightened everything up. And he's someone that, like, strategically, he wants to drop last, and he pulled out exactly what he needed to do today to drop last into that final.
This is back to half pipe. I just checked my notes, which I haven't looked at. What happened to John Salonen? I thought he was coming back this year.
Yes, I'm not sure much has been made public, but I heard rumor of another injury happening that is going to keep him out for the season.
Okay, yeah, I searched on social. I was thinking, man, there was someone else that
this
was
might
in
be
the
pure
mix.
speculation. Like, but he was one that I was very excited to watch come back after his injury. His runs were always so exciting. He's got all 4 directions doubles, which again still is something that really only the upper echelon of the competitive field has. Really nice grab definition, and really started to hit his stride before that injury at Dutour. So I was looking forward to him this year, and I've yet to see him. So that's the rumor I heard. Don't hold me to it.
Well, yeah, that was my question. Is he on the Finnish team? Is he just not competing, or?
Well, I haven't seen him at a contest since that Dutour.
Okay. Well, that's a bummer. That's about all I have. I mean, I'm looking forward to. We have pipe qualies. Today is Wednesday, January 7th.
7.
We're not obviously going to be dropping this tomorrow. Hopefully, get it out before the weekend. But we have pipe qualies tomorrow, so which would be Thursday, and then we'd jump into finals Friday and Saturday, slope and then pipe.
Finals.
For pipe?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, 7 and 7.
Oh, why did they change that in Calgary?
I don't know. And it seems to be the regular now. My whole thing with it.
3-run final or 2-run
2.
final?
2-run final. So 10 women, 14 men, 7 from each heat. Really not sure why the change.
Because it was 16 in copper, men.
Yeah, it was. And like world champs was 16, 8 and 8. I think consistency would just be something I'd look for, I think that for that 15th and 16th place person, like that might seem like a long shot out, but that's a more consistent placement of people, and for them to consistently either make finals or fall just short can be detrimental to their building any momentum in this sport.
Yeah, it's interesting. Maybe we'll have to have Richie Dade on the next Good Enough podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got
plenty of time.
The patience for that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be fun. All right, you guys have anything else?
No. Thanks for having me.
Dev,
Next time,
we should do this
Buy
again.
some beers for.
Yeah, I gotta get beers. Maybe I'll take
those M&Ms never came
maybe
out.
I didn't bring out
Saying.
the M&Ms were I'm keeping them for myself, but I will take Devin to home team and buy her a beer after this if she would like. It's not that late.
And I'm so jealous. You're
No,
within
I'm okay
walking
with that.
distance of home team.
Devin lives right next to the coffee station here, so she's gonna be up at 4 a.m. when people start hitting that button.
Walls are thin. Yeah, I got
Oh no.
great hotel room.
Hopefully you have some
Placement.
earplugs or something.
You win some, you lose some. But thanks.
Yeah. Are you sharing with Brad J?
Yeah, bunking up with Brad J.
Just thought I'd ask. Normally they make me bunk with him, so I thought I'd ask.
Yo, D-Lo.
Yo, D-Lo. I can only ask what he... Never mind. All right. That's it. That's all I have, at least. Billy's got to go to bed within wall distance of me, so I should probably wrap it here.
We've already knocked out 2 in like a week and a half, so we're doing a lot better than we were for the last several months.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see if they get another one out of us or if we lose interest.
Oh, I have one last thing to add.
Let's hear it.
My next episode for Let Her Cook is dropping on the 20th on Steo's YouTube page. We're in South Lake Tahoe with Jenna Dramize and Maddie Bowman, and those fitness freaks really put me to the test. So
Hell yeah. Thanks for hitting me up when you came.
I was in South Lake Tahoe. That's like
Completely different
45
country,
minutes
Pete.
from
45 minutes, Dev.
you. Is it? It's
Like an
probably
hour, yeah.
okay. More.
Like I was just in South Lake, and me and Pete didn't see each other.
I was in
Yeah.
Washington.
So
Yeah, it was for the Christmas too.
The
It's
Christmas.
for the Christmas.
The Christmas.
The Christmas.
Well,
Anyway.
I saw G Money. Shout out G Money.
Shout out G Money.
Also,
Sorry,
Go,
G-Money and
go
Noah
and watch
for-
so I can get views and hopefully
Yeah.
get funding for season 2. Okay, thanks.
and it is fun to watch. I watched the first episode. Really enjoyed it.
And everyone be sure to tune into Garrett and Noah's competitive podcast to Devin's
Honestly.
or video, the Don't Talk While Eating, where they review burritos and euros in and around the Seattle area. I heard they're going to burgers soon, so that's
And
I
may or,
think Euro-
may or may not pronounce tzatziki incorrectly, but that's a whole
Hey.
different topic.
man.
Do they know even what ingredients make tzatziki?
I think you
That-
could do a collab
you
and
should
really
call them
teach
out.
some things.
Yeah, you should jump in their comments.
Yeah,
and see
me and
what we
Noah
got
have
going
been
on.
chit-chatting a little bit, so maybe
Yeah.
collabs in the works.
That'd be sick.
So check out Devin's Let Her Cook. That's about it. That's about all we have going on in our life. Dev, are you coming to X Games?
No, but I'll be in Milan all of February.
You'll be in Milan, and we'll be in
Lavinia.
Lavigno. 6.5
And then the next
hours by
time
public transportation, as I found
We're all
out.
together.
We got-
It's
I mean,
October. Keep
We
your
got
calendars
some
open.
cars, Pete. We have
Okay.
a lot of Euro judges with vehicles.
Get Toby to just drive me around.
Yeah, we're trying to do a day trip to Innsbruck to harass Audrey and Geyser.
How far is that?
2-3 hours maybe max.
Oh, count me in. I'm
that's
down.
doable. Toby's got a
Sarah-
van, no seatbelt.
Sarah Welliver is in my hotel. She's
Oh.
gonna be my guiding force because she gets there a day earlier, so she's gonna tell me how to get there.
He's gonna get the lay of the land,
yeah,
pick up a
she's-
little bit of the language.
It's gonna be very like Rev Tour
You're
2012,
Nazi.
where she just
There
told
you
us how
go.
to do everything.
Yeah, my aunt was telling me to just say Alora. I don't
What's
know
that
what it
mean?
means. I think it means whatever.
Whatever. Also, my hotel has a bar, and the bar.
Don't say.
Hold on, you gotta.
A real one.
I was reading about the
Sir.
bar,
They
and
take
it
money.
said.
Peronis?
Well, it said on the website, bar for a drink with friends. The price is up to you. At Montivas Lodge, we love to trust you. The price is up to me.
That sounds. That's okay.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
What
I'm
was the-
really
what was the-
excited for that.
What was the bar
A
at
dollar
Copper
beer?
Pete where the bartender couldn't figure out how to use the register to charge us? So he just infinite beer hack.
Where is that copper?
Yeah, the 10-mile one or 10.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The one of 3.
That was at the Borders for Breast Cancer event.
Yeah.
Where he just
Ian dropped
he
an
was
outrageous amount of money on the silent auction, not knowing how
Yeah.
it worked.
that bartender was way overserved himself.
He
that
had
night.
overserved himself.
And
I'm glad
we
Ian's doing okay
yeah.
once again.
Shout out Ian Meter.
Shout out to Ian Meter.
Yeah. Call your friends.
We're trying to get him to come do a celeb visit here. Maybe sing.
Country Road.
West Virginia. Mount Mama.
Like only he can.
Take me home.
All right, we gotta wrap this up before we
To
really
a
make
place
this unlistenable.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks. West Virginia. Mount Mama.
There it is, Dev. Sing it for
Oh
Ian.
no.
Country road.
Country road.